So what you think about Risa Renee?
She's full of energy.
She is.
Positivity. I can dig it.
Yes. And I was watching an interview on YouTube, and she is truly, truly proud of her DC home and definitely wanting to bring recognition to the DC metro area for its phenomenal talent. So kudos to her for that. She kind of it's like a blend of go-go and something else, it's got a twist.
Yeah, a little hip hop, a little jazz. And that one particular track, there was like some scatting in there. It was nice.
Yeah, so keep your eyes out for Risa Renee. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday, my Facebook family and friends, my listeners, viewers this evening. May you be blessed with many, many more. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I will introduce you to my co-host, and we will get to ask and answer some questions. The phone lines are open if you want to call in with questions or comments. So take a look at this commercial break and then come right back. I missed my claps. Woo, we got to make our own noise here. Wow, welcome, Kenny.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my goodness. So this man here really needs no introduction. What I want to do, instead of reading a long bio, because I'm sure we'll be here for a while,
Okay.
I saw some very interesting quotes or some things that some fellow artists and reporters have written about you, and I just wanted to share with the audience because I think it's pretty cool. So we've got, let's see, Myra Sorvino, the Academy Award-winning actress who says, "You have the voice of an angel with the skill of Billie Holiday." Wow. The most exciting artist since Prince, Nathan Press, the deli. Funky and exciting, a voice taking us in the right direction. And this was by Mesa Leak, Grammy-nominated artist. Press play and fall in soulful nerd love with Kenny Wesley. I like that. Sun Singleton, Ebony Magazine. Now this is one of my favorites. So rich. Kenny's tenor is Hathaway deep, Luther warm, and in terms of color, could only be described as golden. Truly an anointing moment whenever he and a microphone cross paths. And that's from Gordon Chambers, Grammy-nominated or Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I had the pleasure and the honor of hearing you live last night at Bohemian Caverns. And I tell you, those of you who missed that show, you missed a treat. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Your energy is just, I mean, it just draws you in. I mean, I can't even, I did record part of the show, and I'm going to show that probably next week. I really wanted to make sure we had time to get in our interview and for your live performance. So I was like, we're not taking away from that today, but I definitely want to play it and share with the viewers because it was amazing. So again, I'm still in awe of your performance. So as far as your performing live, the energy and just the skill in how you use your voice, and we talked about this a few minutes ago, where does that come from? Does it come from training? Does it come from endless practicing? Does it come from experience? The more experience you get, the more natural it becomes. Where does that come from?
All of the above. I've been singing since I've been before I've been able to speak,
Okay.
my parents had memories of me singing when I was in diapers, and I hadn't shut up since. And my mom was a choral singer, so she taught me some basics when I was really young. And then in college, I took some private classes at Howard University. And then I read some books and bought CDs about singing. I've always been completely obsessed with singing and what goes into it and everything about it. So, yeah. And then as far as the performance goes, that's just trial and error. Going on stage and getting more comfortable in your own skin, because it's kind of like artists tend to do what people do when they're like in the bathroom or when they're in their bedroom to themselves, the things that they wish they had the nerve to do. So it's kind of practicing until you just don't care anymore, and you just get out there and you just leave it all on the stage. But there are ways to refine it, just as with singing, as far as like observing other artists who have really strong performance abilities and seeing what things that they do you can implement or kind of master and add all of that to your arsenal, your natural organic arsenal.
Man, you're scatting when you scat, and then your range. I mean, you'll start out way up here, and then like your lows, your highs are rich, and your lows, your bottoms are equally as rich. It's just beautiful. It's like it's not even your falsetto. It's all natural for you. It seems.
That's because the practice. I'm working with them notes.
And you're right. You know, when you're saying like in the bathroom when we practice and we sound good, I'm like, ooh. I'll be taking a shower and thinking, man, I like that note. But I'll be damned if I'm going to do it live. You know, and you're right. You got to lose that fear. And just let it go and not be afraid to make mistakes, because we all make mistakes.
I heard somebody say something to this effect. You practice like it's like your last moment on earth, and you just try everything you can. And then you always practice like that. And then when it's time on stage, your 80% to the audience seems like 1,000% because you've gone so deep and so far in your rehearsals that your default is such a high level of excellence.
Okay, that's nice. So you mentioned Howard.
Yeah.
You went to Howard. Howard, you whoop whoop. Whatever, Kevin.
Hater.
Yes. It seems like most of our guests are Howard graduates. See here, he went to Hampton.
Oh, the fake HU. Oops.
Wannabes.
HI.
So you went to Howard, but your major was in.
I was a Spanish major.
Wow. So
Pre-med.
What made you decide to do that versus taking music as a major?
Fear that my parents would disown me. No.
Okay.
They didn't support me or my brother getting degrees in music because they didn't think it was a valid career path that led to like a sure job. So, as most parents feel, they want the best for their children. They don't want them to struggle and be hungry on the streets, struggling. But, you know, I got to a point in my studies, I think my third year, where I knew I would not be happy if I went to med school. I didn't like it enough to want to be a doctor. I was a good student, but I just didn't have the passion to make it happen.
So when do you think that it's the reality sunk in for your parents? When they first saw you live, or as you started, singing more professionally?
The funny thing about the whole situation is, like I said, I've been singing non-stop since I've been in the world. So it's kind of funny that they were surprised when I told them that in college, but about a year or two later, they finally came to grips with it, and it all started clicking. And I think it was a mixture of things. They heard the albums, they liked the recordings, and then when they saw me live, they were like, wow, you really can sing. But I've been singing all my life and like winning contests, and I was the choir director, I was the drum major, I was like really deep into music all my life. But when they saw that I had, I guess, maybe something special, not just a gift, but something that I wanted to contribute as an artist, a story to tell. Then they kind of came on board.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I know when I was coming up, my mother, she would be the first. She'd be like, "Will you please shut up?" Because
Exactly.
Phyllis Hyman was my idol, still is. Love her voice.
Yeah.
And I'd be in there, and I thought I was Phyllis. I'd be in there. What? You couldn't tell me I wasn't Phyllis.
What's your favorite Phyllis song?
Oh gosh, "Meet Me on the Moon."
Mine is
Yes, beautiful. But it's funny because she would be like, "Will you shut up? Will you shut up?" But anytime I perform, she's always right there, right front and center. So that's pretty interesting. It's always nice to have family support.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about today, moving on today, and you are living in your dream. You are, you're performing music. You're living life as a full-time musician, traveling the world, now living in another country. So how did it get to that? Do we have time?
We probably don't, but I can think of a way to abbreviate it.
Okay.
Over the course of the last year and a half, I won a jazz competition at the Montreux Jazz Festival, and that opened lots of doors with record labels and management companies, etc. And it led me to go to a jazz conference in Germany. I enjoyed the conference. It was in the northern part of Germany, and since I'd never really been to Berlin and explored there, I went there on tour a few years ago, but I wanted to kind of get a feel for Berlin because people keep telling me Berlin's a great place, so I went there for like 3 weeks. By the end of the 3 weeks, I'd made so many contacts, gotten so many jobs, and I was just there as a tourist. I wasn't even really going there like to promote and see if that was somewhere I wanted to live. Never thought about Germany.
Wow.
Seriously. But so many opportunities came about relatively easily. I'm thinking, there's something here. Maybe it's the spirit leading me to Berlin. So I decided to move.
Wow.
Yeah.
And absolutely no regrets.
No regrets.
Now, you are very well accepted overseas, and you're equally accepted here too. You just, you won your Whammys, so people definitely know who you are. What do you think? Because I'm finding I'm finding that we have a lot of artists here that are getting a lot of recognition and play in Europe, but not getting as much play here. What do you think that is contributed to that?
Well, there are lots of factors. I feel that the venues in the city are slowly moving away from supporting soul music. I don't understand why, but 930 doesn't really book soul artists anymore. The Black Cat doesn't really book soul artists anymore. Rock and Roll Hotel doesn't really book soul artists anymore. And these are the venues that really get tracked on a national level and can lead to an artist being able to tour and make a living. I think it's representative of what's been happening in the music industry in the U.S. in general, where soul music is being pushed into a smaller and smaller box, and all black artists are being lumped into the category of like urban R&B music, where we know that black artists are just like any other artist. We do all types of music,
Right.
but it's kind of like race music was in the early 1900s and in the 60s, where there's kind of like a changing of the guards, so to speak. So the big labels can push their artists, and all the other artists that are really creating innovative music are having to kind of figure out a way to survive on the underground. So that's why I left.
Wow. Gee, isn't that something? What you say? Oh, okay. Yeah. I've often wondered that, and I think that I too am very passionate about bringing some recognition to the DC metropolitan area for artists. And one of the things that I've been saying, or I'm really starting to push towards, is how it is just so important. It's strength in numbers, and how important it is to get out and support. And that there are so many different cliques here just in this area.
That's another problem, actually, yeah.
Yeah, and so how do you bridge these folks together?
You have to find people in each clique that are willing to work with other people and not be about being a star, but supporting each other. Because I think every major movement in life, whether it's a musical movement, political movement, social movement, started because there were people that had a common ideal. And until the black artist community in DC can get to that place, it's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Man, yeah, well, I'll do the best that I can, at least to try to connect people. That's one of the things that I really love about doing this show. I mean, this is something that I do by choice, but it has allowed me an opportunity to just meet wonderful people, artists such as yourself, that I probably wouldn't have met, or maybe later on down the line. But it really gets me out there to really meet people and see who's doing what, who are some of the movers and shakers, and on top of that, I mean, you've been collabing with quite a few people. You've been doing, so I see that you are supporting as well. I mean, and kudos to you for that. So, which one of the artists is Micah, which you two
Sweetheart.
want, yes, the Whammy, and Geneva Renee, who was here a couple of weeks ago, who loves you to death.
That's one of my best friends. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, you're right. It is about supporting, and trying to build and bring people up.
Because we really are all going for the same thing, but we all have something different to offer. So you don't lose anything by helping somebody else.
Right.
I think that's what people need to realize.
It's enough out here.
More than enough. And actually, let's rewind back maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, when the indie scene was really strong in DC. It was kind of starting to wane after that. Artists, maybe 3 or 4 artists, would share a bill and a venue as small as Bohemian Caverns and sell out both shows. And then they would build their fan base to a certain point, and then they would break off and start doing the superstar thing and do their own shows. Instead of taking that same show to a bigger venue.
Right.
And continue building your fan bases together. But I actually have been planting some seeds, because I think one of my strong suits is connecting people, and I want to do something like that in the DMV. Whenever I come back, figure out ways that we can all perform together and all build our fan bases together and bring our fan bases together.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. So because we're going to take a quick break after this question, and then we'll come back and have you sing live. I can't wait. What would you recommend an up-and-coming artist that is interested in taking their career to the next level in terms of getting product out there, doing a CD? What would you, in your opinion, what would you suggest they do first?
Get some songs they really, really love. And whether they've written them or not, if you love it, find some people that can produce it. And then when you have a project you really love, find graphic art that goes with it that you really love. And you don't necessarily have to do a full album, because that can be very expensive. You can start with 2 or 3 songs and do a really great job. Start with 1 song. If you just want to kind of get your name out there, do 1 song really great and make a video for it. And then keep saving your money and find a great publicist for that genre of music. A great publicist. Don't get Pookie from the corner. Get like a for real publicist. And from there, opportunities should come. Now,
do you go to the publicist, or does the publicist come to you?
If you ain't got nothing out there, they don't know who you are. Right. So you gotta pursue them.
Okay. Because I know with I'm learning with management now. A lot of times managers, you used to be able to go to somebody and hire a manager, but now they're selecting who they want to work with. So I wasn't sure if that was the same.
Well, unfortunately, it's gotten to that. However, it still should be your decision who your manager is. You know what I mean? Because it's your career, and they're making money off of you.
Right.
You're their boss. So even though managers tend to pick who they want to work with, I would tend to not even pursue managers. I would like managers to pursue me.
Right. Okay.
You know, because at that point, you hold all the cards.
But so a publicist is key at this point, though.
Yes, but a publicist is like you hire them. You call them. It's like calling a cab to come pick you up. You call a publicist. You give them the music. Now, really expensive publicists that work with really high-end clients, sometimes they can be very picky. Like some managers, like you mentioned earlier, like, oh, we only work with artists that are signed to labels. But there are lots of indie publicists and other publicists that work with major and independent artists.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great advice. I haven't heard that yet, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and then the face and the voice that you see on the screen, because I'm going to just scoot off to the side so I can admire. I can just sit there and just, look at you all googly-eyed. Such a fan. We're gonna take a quick break, and then Kenny will be back to sing live.
Got me jumping inside, how can this be? Early morn, I got you on my mind. You came in my life like a leaf into the autumn air. Both our hearts intertwined. Now I wait for the time when your shadow covers mine. I'm missing you, baby, don't worry. I'll be right there by noon. I'm missing you, baby, just call me honey. I'll take good care of you. I'm standing in this empty place. It's size for you, a blissful sweet rendezvous. I hear the knocks. I answer and there's no one there, just my deep solitude. Is it real or my dream that you've flown away from me? I'm missing you, don't worry, honey. I'll be right there by noon. I'm missing you, baby. Just call me, honey. I'll take good care. Time can capture visions of the past and has its way to kind of always make them last. So if I can grasp the hope of love before it fades, it will not be erased. Babe, come fill this space. Oh, hey, come home, come home.
my goodness. Man, you know what? I'm going to have you come back, and we're going to have 2 songs. Matter of fact, we should just have
a duet.
That'll work. We can do a duet. Yes. Oh, I'm so mad I don't have my claps. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. You guys must get out and support this brother. I tell you. Tell the fans how they can stay connected.
KennyWesley.com.
And on Facebook, Kenny
Soulful
Wesley.
Nerd. Yeah.
Yes. When will you be back in town?
In November.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm playing yet, but I'm playing somewhere in November. I'm planning the tour now.
Okay, great. All right. Well, we're going to have to schedule you to come back. Actually, November, Carolyn Malachi said she was going to come back too.
That's my girl.
Oh, yeah, she's over in Asia right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to get myself together. All right. So we're going to end the show with we have the Set Your Mind, Set Your Week, and it's just an inspirational kind of quote that I find that inspires me the day of when I'm putting the script together. And I think this is so appropriate, and you may want to even add something. So the quote is, "Follow your dreams and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls." So the author is unknown, but the takeaway from that is, on this show, we talk about being empowered and taking ownership of our lives and our destiny. We talk about being motivated and inspired to follow and live in our dreams. This quote simply tells us to set our dreams in motion by moving towards it. By doing so, the universe will open doors for you, but you have got to start that ball in motion. How do you start? By showing up, networking, and showing those around you that you are committed to whatever it is that you want to do in life. Absolutely. And you spoke to this too in your show in terms of just, living in your dream and just, not having fear. I mean, fear, it's kind of debatable. Some people say fear is necessary because it kind of pushes you. But I think that you can't let fear, though, paralyze you and keep you from taking a chance on yourself, because we only have one life and we want to be happy.
Yeah, I think that fear alerts you to things that you need to work on in yourself.
Yes.
And it gives you a goal that you have to overcome, or to reach for, rather. And with dreams, for me, it's never been an issue of whether it could happen or not. For me, it's been a question of when and how. And I can't say it's never, but I've learned to ask myself, how can I make this happen? And it will happen. Because if you've had the idea in your mind, God plants it there for a reason. And when you start to ask yourself, how can it happen, then all these ideas start to come to you about how to make it happen.
Yes.
Like, I wouldn't be in Germany now if I didn't ask myself how. Because I would still think I needed to stay in my 9-to-5 job. I needed to still try and get these promoters to like me. I needed to still try and go to this conference and get these people to like me, versus going where people already like me and build from there.
Right.
Wherever you feel love, wherever you feel an opening, walk in it.
So you mentioned that you did the jazz festival and that opened up a lot of doors.
Yeah.
But do you remember that defining moment when you just said, you know what, forget all, I'm not even going to think about, what's going to happen when I get on the other side, meaning in Germany. I'm just going to let go and let God. So do you remember that defining moment for you?
Funny enough, about the jazz thing, it was a vocal competition at the jazz festival. I had applied for that like 3 times and gotten rejected, and I was done with it. But my publicist said, try it again. And I was like, whatever, I'm not about to do that again. And I did, and that was the time I got accepted.
Wow.
I was the only American singer chosen. And I mean, Quincy Jones officiated it. He's like the patron of the vocal competition. He's there every year, and it was major. Prince was there that year. Wow. It was crazy.
See, in timing, it was time.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I applaud you, and I thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It has been a pleasure getting.
Platform.
Thank you, and it's just been a pleasure getting to know you this week.
Likewise.
Yes, and promise that you will come back.
I would love to.
Oh gosh! All right. Woo! Thank you guys. I'd like to thank again Kenny Wesley for stopping by and joining us, being my co-host. Hello, Earth Show. They have joined us. Make sure you stay tuned for the Earth Show immediately following this show. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you helping with the show. Oh, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Mike is filling in for Eric tonight. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you tune in next week. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you. Bye.